Hello, welcome to this series of videos related to the Chapter 21 websites in IGCSE ICT. In this case, we're going to jump to the first task of the Chapter 21A, which require from us that we create a web page that includes paragraph and heading style. We're gonna see what our heading style, how to create instruction for headings and paragraph in a website, but most importantly, the basic structure that we need to have on all the different websites that we're gonna be creating during the course. The first thing that we want to do is to use the corresponding file extension, to tell the computer that is a website, the file that we are creating or that we are using, and to tell the text editor that is a HTML file. Remember that the tools that we're going to use are SublimeText as text editor. This is where we're going to be writing our websites. It will be like this, and a browser and file explorer. So let's jump into creating the file. To do that, you will have a folder where you're going to have your work. In this case, I have created a folder called 21A inside of the Chapter 21 website. So I can right click here and create a new test file, give the corresponding name and extension, but instead of that, I will open my my file explorer, and I will create here new file. I will go and save this file in the corresponding folder where I have my work, and I will call it task 21A by John Hernandez. The most important thing here is to select the extension of the file extension that we are going to be using, and is HTML. We can write it or select it from save as here. When we save this, we can see that there is a new file created in our folder. And just a pause here. Always remember to have an instructor in your screen that allows you to have the text editor when you are writing your instruction, the browser where you can see the results, and the file management. This is optional, where you can navigate and manipulate your different files. Okay, going back, now that I create the file, I know the computer know that I need to open it with the browser. That's why I have the browser icon here, and the text editor know that will be a HTML. I just need to go and explain a little bit more to the text editor. And remember that SublimeText auto-complete your instructions. For example, if I write here HTML, or I start writing HTML, it will give me a suggestion. This is the auto-completion feature that it has. If I click enter, it will create a basic structure for me. So going back, we already created the file with the corresponding extension. Good. Now we need to specify the document type and comment. For example, here we have this, and let me minimize this for you. Here we have this. This tells the editor is a HTML file that you are working with. So please remember to color code the instruction, be given the agreement of HTML type of instructions. And like this is how the text editor knows how to deal with this set of texts that we're gonna be writing that are the instruction for the website. Now the final goal of this website will be something like this, which is what you can see on your browser. What you can see on my screen, and that you will see on your browser at the end of this video. What do we have here? And this is where we go with the structure. we mentioned what a document type for, but comments are something that the computer doesn't see, but you as a creator or as a programmer, if you are programming, you can use as an understanding of what the codes do and or what are the instructions for. So in order to insert comments, you are going to start like if you were doing a tab, and remember, tags are all of these kind of instructions that open and close, like we will see with heading and paragraph. Everything in HTML are done by using different tags. So first, for comment is just this structure, you opening, and you don't need to create another a part of the tag to close it. You just in one that you open the minus or minus, smaller or less than or bigger and less than symbols, and inside of this you write your comment. This is a comment. The computer, if you save this and run this website, for example, if I go here, if I double click this, it will run, and you can see that it's blank. The computer doesn't see this. This is useful, for example, in this case, we're going to use it to write who did this. This is task 21A by John Hernandez. Okay. Now, another things that your structure of the website includes are the head and the body. In the head, and this is when I go back to the things that the text editor autocomplete for us. In the head, we include the title and styles. We don't gonna work with that now, and actually we can delete this for the moment. Later we work with this. Now we just want to have the title there. But what is the title? Well, look at in here that this has a name there, and this corresponds to the file name. If I here on the title write welcome, for example, and I save it, file save or Control S, and you refresh, you will see that the tab on the browser, the title on the or the text in the tab in the browser tab change to this. This is the title. Now in the body is where you write down everything that you want to be present here on this. We are going to use comment to tell us those things. For example, we have a comment that says here is where we include the title, and here is when we include the content. Again, if you refresh your website, this will not appear because there are comments. Now, what are these? Well, this tells the type of instructions that you are working in. It's like this is your whole human body, and this is the head, and this is in fact the body. Now, remember, everything that you open, you close. Everything that you open, you close. And the way to close it is just adding the same, but with a slash at the beginning. Let's get our hands dirty. Finally, we already create the basic structure for our website: head, title, body. Okay, now let's go to the task. It says that we need to include paragraph and heading styles. What are those heading styles? This is, for example, if you have ever seen on a website a title and then subtitles, you see that they are all with a type of format, and these are the headings. Now headings, in this case, in order to write headings, we need to use the tag H126, and the number different is only to change the size. If you click enter, you will see that it autocomplete. Enough you write a complete instruction. Here, for example, this is a first level heading. If you save and refresh your website, you will see this here. If I do the same thing, but I just change it for H2, you will see that the size of it change. As you can see here, we just need to write second. Okay, perfect. We could have any size from 1 to 6 level. We just don't need more right now because it doesn't say all. Yes, we say heading style, we already have 2. Now paragraph will look like this, and let's say that I have this paragraph already, and they are useful because by not using a heading and writing a lot of text on a heading and using paragraph tag instead, later you will see that you can add some format to the paragraph, like justifying the paragraph, or adding a space at the beginning of the paragraph, or spaces between line, or many other styles that we normally will do in a Word document. So paragraph start and end, only using P of paragraph, and inside of this, not here, let me just create space, not here, because this will be for the style later, but here is where you write your paragraph. If I save this and refresh, you see that now I have my paragraph in my website. Now let's go back. It says that we need to include heading, style, and paragraph. We did this already. Both heading, style, and paragraph are part of the content of the website, and that's why they are in body. But we need to have the head as well, and we use it to include the title. Here you can change this by your name or my first website, or whatever is suitable for you. Now remember that in an exam question you need to include your candidate number or name, or both, in the product that you are producing, in this case the website. Look how interesting it is. If I go here and view per source, I can see my code. Look. And this is what happens when you have a website and you actually click on inspect the website or view page source. You can see what is inside of this website. Of course, now we are not adding any security, don't worry about that. So that was it for this video. Task 21A done. Bye bye.